2020 pre-season testing is done and dusted. We've had innovation and impersonation, spins and slowdowns, but what clues do we have as the season opener in Melbourne draws ever nearer? Most commentators have Mercedes as favourites. The W11 was fastest of all, though Lewis Hamilton only managed 14 laps on Thursday, following an oil pressure anomaly, leading the world champion to say he was concerned about their reliability. Although lap times can be notoriously misleading in testing, the Silver Arrow looked sharp, with Valtteri Bottas quickest again in week 2, though the Flying Finn's top time of 1 minute 16.196 was nearly half a second down on his best lap from week 1. Red Bull's Max Verstappen went for a few soft-shod barnstormers in the dying minutes of the final day, but the Dutchman fell short of Bottas's best, albeit on a slightly slower tyre compound. Both Verstappen and teammate Alexander Albon lost control and found the gravel, but suggestions of an instability at the rear of their RB16 have been dismissed by the Austrian team. They got through their programme and the car was reliable, with both drivers and team principal Christian Horner sounding positive heading into Australia.
Of course, our expectations grow and they rise, and our targets are very high this year. So, that's the challenge. We know we've got some fierce opponents and great competitors, but I think we do have the strength and depth to hopefully put a real challenge together this year.
Some people think the car might be a little bit skittish, might be a little bit loose. A couple of spins for you and for Alex over the course of the 2 weeks. Are they right to be worried about that?
They don't drive the car, so they don't know.
Are you worried about that?
I'm not worried at all.
12 months ago, Ferrari were on the front foot, but this year's SF1000 seemed to struggle, at least until the final day, when Charles Leclerc set the Scuderia's fastest time of the test and also put in a monstrous 181 laps of the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, comfortably the most of any driver on a single day over the 2 weeks. Generally, they had a more productive time in week 2, with Sebastian Vettel and Leclerc combining for 490 laps, the most of any team. However, over the 2 weeks combined, it was Mercedes who, despite 2 shortened sessions, were the only team to break the 900-lap marker, 59 laps further than their nearest rivals Ferrari, with McLaren the only other team in the 800s. Talking of the Woking outfit, McLaren arguably had their most successful test in recent memory and look very much in the fight for podiums again, with Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris, but they face some resurgent competition. Racing Point continued to impress in the RP20, a car many have cheekily dubbed the Pink Mercedes. Aerodynamically looking similar to the 2019 title-winning chassis, they look both reliable and fast, with their short-run pace a particular standout. Lance Stroll blasted around the Catalunya circuit to a third fastest time on day 5, and Sergio Perez was consistently fast on the final day of testing, boding well for the season ahead. The team will have their sights firmly set on not just points, but podium finishes.
Are you ready for Australia? Are you prepared?
Can't wait. Can't wait. We've been waiting for this moment for a long time to ship the car off and let's go racing.
Renault had downplayed their performance in week 1, but their much improved performance in week 2 has given them a renewed vigour. Their short-run pace looks decent, Daniel Ricciardo crediting the improved balance of the car to his making the top 3 on 2 of the final 3 days of testing.
I don't think I've ever done a low 16 around here, so quickest I've ever been around Barcelona. I've been coming here since 2007, so long time, going round and round, but I finally got a good lap.
And the returning Esteban Ocon, setting the 6th quickest time of the second week. There's little to separate the remaining 4 teams. The newly named AlphaTauri was 6th in terms of laps completed, with Daniel Kvyat and Pierre Gasly 11th and 13th fastest respectively over the 2 weeks. Both men scored podiums in 2019 during rain-affected races, and if the AT01 is similarly consistent this year, there's no reason why they can't enjoy such success again. Williams' turnaround from 12 months ago is something to be celebrated, from missing the first 2 days of testing in 2019 to being first out of the blocks this time around, and George Russell posting the 10th quickest time of week 2. There's still a long way to go, according to Deputy Team Principal Claire Williams, but some suspect they've done enough to claw their way back into the fight for points. Haas completed the fewest laps of all, 649, with Kevin Magnussen losing out the most. However, Romain Grosjean was 12th quickest in week 2, and the US outfit were happy with their programme. In 2019, they were quick in qualifying, but severely lacking in race pace, as they struggled to understand their car. With them certain not to repeat those mistakes this year, there's great cause for optimism in the form of the VF20. Alfa Romeo were responsible for the only real crash of week 2, when Antonio Giovinazzi fell foul of the slippery surface on day 5 and found himself spinning off into the gravel and backwards into the tyre wall. The team didn't get the laps they'd hoped for, and their short-run pace hardly set the timing sheets ablaze, Kimi Räikkönen posting the 14th fastest time of the fortnight, with Giovinazzi 3 places lower. So all 10 teams now have plenty of data to work through over the next few days, before adding the finishing touches to their Melbourne spec cars and sending them off to Australia for the first race of the season. As ever, everyone is keeping their cards close to their chests, but it looks like all the cars are reliable and teams are on the front foot as we head to race 1. The 2020 season is upon us. Records will be broken, legends can be made. Whatever happens, it's bound to be intense, thrilling, and spectacular.